driver's seat, you know?
We are continuing to travel northbound. Again, Miami-Dade police say that this is in reference to a stolen vehicle that they are following right now. That car, or that SUV, has crashed into other cars in the process of this chase. Unclear exactly where this started and at what time this started, but right now the images you are looking at are from the Turnpike northbound. Continuing, they hopped on at 184th Street, now past 152nd Street, and quickly moving. Police again in pursuit right now. Can't see them in this shot, but we are told that they are nearby looking for this vehicle at this time. So far in the images we have seen, there have been no accidents. You see there, it appears to be a cruiser just at the bottom of your screen there. Looks like that vehicle is now hopping onto another expressway or continuing on the turnpike right now. Where that turnpike splits, you could see that cruiser not too far behind him. Now that SUV in the center lane. As we take a wider shot to give you an idea of where the traffic is right now, there are obviously cars on the roadway. Lunchtime right now as people head out. Right now, we are on delay, so we do want to let you know, just as we continue to carry these images live for you, but we do have it just a few seconds delayed in case anything should happen and to help police as they continue in with this investigation. Right now, it seems as though that SUV has moved from the Turnpike northbound to 874, the Don Shula Expressway. Continuing right now, I can see one police car just at the bottom of the screen there. Unclear how many more are behind that police cruiser as well. Again, Miami-Dade police in pursuit of this vehicle. We know it is reference to a stolen vehicle, again, on the Don Shula Expressway, just past the Killian exit. So far in the middle lanes, has not had to maneuver too much around other vehicles at this point, but of course a big safety issue for those other vehicles and drivers currently on the roadway. Right now it seems like he's sort of in a jam amongst other vehicles right now. He's still swerving in and out of lanes. He or she not clear actually who is driving this vehicle at this time. Passing Kendall Drive is what I'm told, 88th Street on Don Shula, or on the 874 right now. Hanging out in the left lane as it appears the driver seems to have more of a clear path through that area, passing a school bus right now. I see that it's continuing northbound. There was just a sign there that said north to Miami International Airport. Again, Miami-Dade police are in pursuit at this point in reference to this stolen vehicle, that white SUV that you are looking at right now. You could see the officer in the right lane, that SUV on the left lane, the car now just passing the exit for 878, now onto the shoulder of the road to get around those other vehicles that are in the way there, or in his path or her path, whoever's driving. Again, we do not know the identity of the person in that vehicle at this time. Police continuing, keeping a safe distance for the safety of the other drivers in that area as well. Looks as though maybe other officers could be joining into this at this point. Unclear if they're exiting right now. A bit difficult to tell just based on the intricate expressway system that we have here in South Florida, as there are different interchanges to see where this vehicle is exactly at this moment. We do know that several minutes ago it did get on the turnpike northbound at 184th Street. Now it appears that they are passing, they just passed Bird Road, getting close to the Palmetto Expressway on the 874. approaching the Palmetto Expressway right now. That car again, right now you could see just how many police cruisers appear to be in pursuit. I can see 3 there, but there are expectedly more on the way, or more just coming on to the highway at different entrance points right now. Again, you are looking at a white SUV traveling northbound on the 874, approaching the Palmetto Expressway, just past the Bird Road exit right now. Turning, apparently seems to be getting near the Palmetto, or perhaps onto the Palmetto right now. This is that merge that you see right there. You just saw the sign that said Palmetto Expressway, cutting across those lanes of traffic to the right, presumably to get on the Palmetto Expressway northbound right now. Approaching 24th Street right now, Coral Way, as it continues northbound in this area. So far, in the images we have seen, this SUV has not crashed into any vehicles from what we have seen, but police did say earlier that this car did crash into other vehicles. This is believed to be a stolen vehicle, and that's why police are in pursuit at this time. You could see that one cruiser there on the left side of your screen, trailing very closely behind, but still at a safe distance behind this white SUV. Right now, the vehicle is approaching Flagler on 874, or on the Palmetto Expressway already, just passing Flagler. Still in the left lane, doesn't appear to be meeting much in the way of any sort of slowdowns from other cars just yet, but we do know that the Palmetto at this time of day, it's not unimaginable to have some heavy traffic once they continue northbound. Right now, again, on the Palmetto Expressway, just past Southwest 8th Street. That car moving from the left lane, now moving a little bit more to the right. And now approaching Flagler, and there will be some traffic, also some construction in that area. We are known to see that as it approaches Flagler, and then 836 and 25th Street and 36th Street. The heavy traffic does tend to build up in that area, so we will keep a very close eye to see what this car and the driver is doing. Appears that he's crossing a couple of lanes to weave in and out of some of the traffic that the driver is beginning to encounter at this point. But again, nothing stop and go, so he's still, or she, whoever the driver is able to continue moving. But that police car very close behind. Right now, that car just past the 836 exit on the Palmetto Expressway, continuing northbound. So this chase that we picked up all the way at the turnpike at 184th Street is now all the way on the Palmetto Expressway, passing the 836, or has passed 836, getting close to the Doral area, now underneath that 836 overpass interchange area. This is now approaching Northwest 25th Street. A lot of construction in this area. It tends to be a lot of traffic in this area. So as you could see, having to slow down quite a little bit here as he makes his way around the cars. That car in front, that was just in front of him, now trying to get in front of that vehicle again. The car weaving all the way to the right. But police still there. You can make out that one cruiser and presumably several others not too far behind either. Again, from what we have seen in these images that we have broadcast to you, this vehicle has not hit any cars, but police say it did hit some vehicles before we were able to pick up this broadcast from our Chopper 4 coverage here. Right now, the vehicle just passing 25th Street on the Palmetto Expressway, continuing northbound. Now the vehicle is heading toward Northwest 36th Street. From this vantage point here, seems like not too much in the way of traffic or anything to slow down this driver, but could pick up in the next couple of exits or so that things might slow down as this car continues northbound, approaches Hialeah, and then at one point, I mean, it's either, once you get to 826, you'll either have to continue eastbound, you take that curve, or you can hop on I-75, the Gratney. There are different options, so we are keeping a very close eye on where this vehicle may be going, just past the Northwest 36th Street exit in Doral. Still continuing to weave in and out of those cars, of course. The police officer no longer in the shot you see here, but there are cruisers in pursuit of this vehicle. You're looking at the white SUV in the center of your screen right now, pretty much in that middle lane, now approaching 58th Street on the Palmetto Expressway, traveling northbound. We picked up this chase at the Turnpike at 184th Street. It had been ongoing for several minutes at that point, and now we are on the Palmetto Expressway going northbound. I see the sign for Northwest 74th Street. That's what they're approaching right now. They just passed 58th Street. That vehicle at this point doesn't seem to be traveling at too high of a rate of speed, but there is a lot of traffic, so very difficult thing to do right now. Off on the shoulder as it tries to make its way around some of those cars, because again, this is where that area of traffic tends to pick up, especially around this time of the day. And now that driver seems to be speeding up as well, approaching that Northwest 74th Street exit. There's the exit right there. They're going to be approaching Okeechobee, then 103rd and 135th in the Hialeah area. So we will continue to stay on top of this to see just how far this vehicle gets before police can hopefully apprehend this person in a safe manner. Again, this is on the Palmetto Expressway traveling northbound. This chase that police say is in reference to a stolen vehicle. Police say Miami-Dade is investigating this case, and Miami-Dade police say that this car did ram two other police vehicles, as well as had some other accidents in the process of this chase. So far, what we have seen and what we've broadcast to you, we have not seen any accidents at this point, but that car driving rather unsafely right now off on to the shoulder, speeding past some of those other cars. We are on the Palmetto Expressway northbound right now, past 74th Street, I believe approaching near Okeechobee, if the vehicle hasn't passed the Okeechobee exit already. There's the 103rd Street exit. So past Okeechobee, now passing 103rd Street, approaching 122nd Street, 135th Street exit in Hialeah. Once you get to this area, this is where the Palmetto makes that curve to the east. The vehicle can either continue curving to the east, can get on I-75, or can get on the Gratney. So several different options, or perhaps even get off on 154th Street in Miami Lakes. It really just depends what this driver thinks that they can do at this point with police in hot pursuit. Seems as though the car has a bit of a clear path here, no longer on the shoulder of the highway. Approaching 122nd and 135th Street exit in the Hialeah area as they continue northbound on the Palmetto Expressway. We've been following this chase for a couple of minutes now, or a few minutes rather, and it started when we picked it up on the Turnpike northbound at 184th Street, and it had been going on from before this actually happened, for a few minutes before that. But now we are on the Palmetto traveling northbound, and this will be where we wait and see where this driver plans to go. There's an ambulance there with lights flashing as well. It just sort of weaved its way around that situation, continuing in the left lane, passing that I-75 north exit. So it appears as though this driver is going to continue on the Palmetto Expressway. And now is where the Palmetto does that curve to the east. So we're going to continue to follow where that vehicle travels. Again, that white SUV is what you're focusing on right now. Passing the Gratney Parkway exit right now, then approaching 154th, and from there is where it starts traveling east. You'll hit 67th, 57th, and so on until you hit the Turnpike and I-95. So we'll have to wait and see just how far east this vehicle makes it before police can apprehend the driver. Again, Miami-Dade police say that this is in reference to a stolen vehicle. At this point, we don't know anything about the identity of the person inside. Unclear how many people are inside at this time or where exactly all of this started. But when we picked it up for you just a few minutes ago, we were on the Turnpike northbound at 184th Street. And in just those few minutes, this vehicle has made its way up the Turnpike, up 874, and northbound as well onto the Palmetto Expressway. And now it is going on to the Palmetto eastbound right now. I believe it seems as though it's hit the median there that separates the east and westbound lanes of the Palmetto Expressway. It's made its way clear across Dade County from south to north, and now it looks like it's going from west to east at this point as that vehicle continues on 826. Again, police are telling us that this is in reference to a stolen car. 2 accidents with police cars in the pursuit that we are following for you right now. None that we've seen here on camera that we've broadcast for you in these delayed images that we are bringing you. Not sure on any injuries in reference to those accidents with police cars or any other injuries that may have been a result of the initial theft of this vehicle. This car now in the center lane of 826 heading in the eastbound direction, just passing 67th Avenue right now, approaching 57th Avenue and so on as it makes its way toward the Miami Gardens area, perhaps exiting now. Unclear if the car is going to exit or if it's going to continue on the expressway traveling eastbound. If it were to exit, it would be on 167th Street right there, parallel to the Palmetto Expressway. A lot of dead ends in that area and difficult to maneuver there as well. So that car is staying on the Palmetto Expressway for now, traveling eastbound, passing 57th Avenue right now, weaving in and out of traffic. So far, we have seen a couple of close calls, but no other vehicles hit. The vehicle has, however, brushed up against that median. Looks like the vehicle did it again, sideswiping that median there. And another vehicle as well. So not only the 2 police cars that police say this car crashed into, but also another vehicle in the course of this pursuit that we are showing you right now with these live images from Chopper 4. This is on the Palmetto, traveling eastbound, I believe approaching 47th Avenue, if it hasn't passed 47th Avenue already, heading toward the Golden Glades interchange. So this chase has spanned pretty much Dade County from south to north and now from west to east. That vehicle continuing on the Palmetto Expressway, traveling eastbound, seems to be slowing down right here in the middle of the street, looping around. This is a one-way, my understanding, or now circling around, getting back on the highway. Actually unclear, maybe there's some tire damage keeping that car from going straight, and that's why looping around, but now deciding to continue on, trying to evade the police officer there. But the police did manage to turn around with him and keep going because there were a row of police cars waiting for that vehicle up ahead. The car managed to do that maneuver and then continue eastbound on the Palmetto Expressway, passing 47th, 37th Avenue. At this point, not a lot of traffic. Seems as though the car is now exiting the highway right now, very close to that vehicle that just barely managed to get out of the way. Trying to give you a better idea of if this is off the 37th or 47th Avenue exit. The car now into the grassy area, trying to get around all these cars waiting at the red light. That they're at 37th Avenue, just off the exit of the Palmetto Expressway. There is a red light there, as there are at the exits. You could see, I believe that's a Miami Gardens police officer. That vehicle now driving the wrong way in the left side of the road rather than the right side of the road into oncoming traffic. We apologize for that. Seems like our chopper image froze for just a moment there. The car has seemed to have made it safely. Not clear if we missed anything in those few brief moments, but now it seems like that car is back in the correct lane, traveling near the Miami Gardens area. I'm not exactly sure where this is, but it appears as though it may have been raining earlier in the day there, or even raining a little bit now because the roads appear to be slick. That car certainly losing a bit of control there. Now making a right turn on 27th Avenue, or near 27th Avenue, just off of 27th Avenue, in a residential area. A Miami Gardens cop, I believe, is the vehicle that is behind that car right now. Again, Miami-Dade had originally started this chase way down in southwest Miami-Dade in reference to a robbery. That car really speeding through this residential area right now. 175th Street and 27th Avenue. Went through that stop sign, making a left now. Difficult to pinpoint exactly the cross streets that this vehicle is on right now, but in the area near Miami Gardens. Again, Miami-Dade police picked up this chase down in southwest Miami-Dade in reference to a stolen vehicle. That car did crash into 2 police cruisers as well as sideswiped 1 vehicle, at least that we saw, on the Palmetto Expressway in the course of this pursuit that started. We picked it up on the Palmetto, or on the Turnpike northbound at 184th Street. That went up the Turnpike, then up 874 northbound on the Palmetto, then eastbound on the Palmetto until exiting at 37th Avenue, now near the Miami Gardens area, Miami Gardens Drive in northwest Miami-Dade. That car continuing now, it's weaving in it. Now it is in the wrong side of the road, just took through the intersection, 32nd Avenue. Police in pursuit of this vehicle right now, not just Miami-Dade, also Miami Gardens. Unclear if there are other agencies also in pursuit of this vehicle right now, but those are the ones we've been able to see from our images here on Chopper 4. This vehicle not stopping, obviously, at red lights, at stop signs, not honoring any sort of school zone signs that we've seen either. This is a residential area. Making a right now. The Miami Gardens police officer not far behind, eastbound now on 199th Street in the Miami Gardens area. Once again, I apologize, the chopper images freezing just a little bit there for you, but that car continuing eastbound on 199th Street right now. Miami Gardens police officer, and now that vehicle now going into the opposing lanes of traffic, driving on the wrong side of the road. A red light there. A person in the crosswalk just made it by before this vehicle passed through. Now in the correct lanes of traffic as police continue following the person driving this car. This chase that started 15, 20 minutes, maybe even longer ago. We picked it up right now, this vehicle just near Sun Life Stadium in the Miami Gardens area. Just at the bottom of your screen, you can make out the parking for Sun Life Stadium there. So on the outskirts, you could see the police chopper, Miami-Dade chopper, following close by. Miami Gardens police as well as Miami-Dade police in pursuit of this vehicle. Now, that area is a spot where you can hop on to multiple different expressways, specifically the Turnpike, which then can lead you to the Golden Glades interchange. So we're going to keep an eye on exactly where this vehicle is going right now, speeding through those lights, continuing on the surface streets right now, not hopping on any expressways at this point, right down that center lane that could be used for turning. Usually people use that lane so from either side of the road to make a left-hand turn. This vehicle using it just to speed right on by all the cars right now in the correct lane of traffic, but about to enter Broward from what we could tell. Staying in that center lane that gives the vehicle a clear path to just continue driving without much stopping. Again, that is the lane that people use to turn left from both sides of the road. But right now, that car continuing, not seeing any police presence close by this vehicle at this point. Now into the wrong lanes of traffic, once again, merging over to the right to get onto the right side of the road as other cars approach. Coming up on Miramar now, into Broward County, this chase that started in southwest Miami-Dade. The chase that began as a result of a stolen vehicle. Miami-Dade police continuing to monitor or to continue to pursue this vehicle that was stolen. They say that this white SUV was involved in 2 accidents with police cars. We saw it sideswipe at least one car in the course of this chase when the car was on the Palmetto Expressway. It has since exited the Palmetto Expressway, driven through portions of Miami Gardens near Sun Life Stadium, and now into Broward County. It is going north on 441 right now. We apologize for some of those hits our chopper feed is taking right now. We are continuing to follow this breaking situation for you right now as a result of a stolen vehicle. Police at this point have not given us any information about the person or people inside the car, whether there were any injuries as a result of those earlier crashes that the police officers were involved in. So far, we've been following this for you for about 25 minutes or so, but the chase has been going on for longer than that. It appears as though Miami Gardens police once again close by, just passing 41st Street northbound on 441, as this chase that cleared across Dade County is now well into Broward County and has been going on for over a half hour. Coming up on Pembroke Road. The vehicle right now, there is a red light because all of the cars there are stopped. This car, however, making a right-hand turn and continuing east on Pembroke Road. Again, this chase that started down on the turnpike at 184th Street. That's where we picked it up after the chase really began down in the US 1 Southwest Miami-Dade area, is now all the way up in Broward County. Two cars are in front of this vehicle right now, so making it difficult for this driver to get away around. Right now, the vehicle is on Hallandale Beach Boulevard. Just past those cars that were in the way there, now continuing on the right lane as it tries to weave its way in and out of the other vehicles that are in the way.
That's West Park, isn't it? West Park? It's in West Park.
This is the West Park area for this chase that started way down in southwest Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade police at this point not the only agency pursuing this vehicle. Now that car is in the opposing lanes of traffic, just crossed over the median to get back in to the right lanes. It's Hallandale Beach Boulevard in West Park at 48th Avenue. So a chase that began in far south Miami-Dade, now well into Broward County and well into over a half an hour that this has been ongoing. Longer than that. We have been on the air for just about close to a half an hour at this point, bringing you these live images of this chase. That white SUV is the vehicle that police want to stop as soon as possible and as safely as possible for the sake of all the drivers and as well as for the officers that are in pursuit, as we know that this car also crashed into two police cruisers in the course of this chase. Police say that vehicle is stolen. They want to talk to the person inside. But that person at this point has not wanted to stop, has tried different maneuvers to try to evade police, and so far has been successful in the sense that the driver has not stopped, but police have not lost the car. They are still on that vehicle, and right now he is driving on the wrong side of the road, just missed that sedan on the other side of the road as he crossed back over the median there. Continuing on Hallandale Beach Boulevard right now, running into a little bit of a delay as this vehicle is trying to get around some of the cars. Now making a left turn. We're going to try and figure out exactly what street that is for you. Just made a left on Park Road from Hallandale Beach Boulevard, continuing now northbound on Park Road. One lane in each direction, so not too much in the way of traffic in this area. He is weaving around cars that are in his lane to go into the lane of opposing traffic. So far, no other cars were in that vehicle's way just yet. We're not seeing any officers at this point. Earlier in the chase, we've been seeing Miami-Dade police and then Miami Gardens police officers, but right now, we're not seeing any in this shot. That vehicle, there we go. Now we are seeing an SUV police patrol cruiser in pursuit of this vehicle. The vehicle appears to be heading toward I-95 right now. There are some cars in the vehicle's way, lots of traffic at the light, the car going right into the median, into the grass and into oncoming traffic rather than U-turning, continuing straight into that oncoming traffic. Now weaving back when the light has turned right near the train tracks, now making a left to go back into that area, now in the wrong lane of traffic in that turning lane. Appears to have made a left into a one-way street right now. Going the wrong way on a ramp, possibly a ramp or an exit ramp to I-95. Pembroke Road. It is the exit ramp from I-95 to Pembroke Road. That vehicle going in the opposite direction to get onto the highway, now looping around from the exit ramp to get back into traffic on I-95 right now. Traveling I-95 southbound. So the chase that started traveling northbound now going in the opposite direction. Hallandale Beach Boulevard is what they're approaching right now on I-95 southbound. The vehicle moving into those express lanes now, passing the Hallandale Beach Boulevard exit. And the Ives Dairy Road exit as well. Unclear if this vehicle will try to stay in these express lanes or try to cut across before those lanes end and become strictly for express lane drivers. Again, police say that this is a stolen vehicle. This is what this chase is in reference to. Started in far south Miami-Dade and continued on the Turnpike northbound, then onto the Don Shula Expressway and the Palmetto Expressway before eventually ending up all the way in Broward County and now heading back southbound on I-95 toward the Golden Glades interchange. On Ives Dairy Road right now is where they are approaching. They're on I-95 southbound, approaching Ives Dairy Road. It appears as though the vehicle is now exiting the highway at Ives Dairy Road. Seems like they're going to go westbound on Ives Dairy Road right now, or perhaps continue through that light. Unclear what this driver is planning on doing, perhaps looping around. Cars are going through that intersection, now going eastbound on Ives Dairy. And now looping back around to 95 north. FHP very close by, back on I-95, this time in the northbound direction, just hopped on the expressway from the Ives Dairy Road exit after getting off from the southbound lanes and looping around to now go northbound on I-95. The vehicle now approaching Hallandale Beach Boulevard, that white SUV you are looking at on your screen speeding by all those other cars on I-95. We have seen FHP, Miami Gardens, and Miami-Dade police in pursuit of this vehicle in the last half hour or so. Miami-Dade police started this pursuit in reference to a stolen vehicle. That vehicle did crash into two police cruisers, we are told. Unclear of any injuries to any officers that may have been in those cruisers. We also did see the vehicle sideswipe another car as part or along the course of this chase when the car was on the Palmetto Expressway. Also hit the median very frequently and drove into oncoming traffic on several occasions as a way to evade police. Right now, the vehicle traveling northbound on I-95, just passing Hallandale Beach Boulevard. Coming up on Pembroke Road right now. So police say again that this is in reference to a stolen vehicle. We've been following this for about the last half hour or so. It started when we picked it up on the Turnpike northbound at 184th Street. Right now it has traveled all across Dade County, well into Broward County. It's on I-95 northbound coming up on Pines Boulevard. According to radio police frequency, a teen driver is behind the wheel. We are waiting to get that confirmed from police at this time. We don't know anything about the identity of this driver or if there is anyone else in the car at this point. We do know that they have traveled quite a long distance, passing Hollywood Boulevard right now on I-95 northbound. That car you're looking at is speeding by, that white SUV, passing the traffic, not having to do much in the way of weaving around traffic right now, just staying in the left lane, coming up on Sheridan Street on I-95 northbound, continuing to travel in the northbound direction. At this point, from this vantage point, not seeing many officers too close by, perhaps keeping their distance for safety of the other drivers around them on the highway at this point. But in the course of this chase, we have seen Miami-Dade, FHP, and Miami Gardens police. Now that it is into Broward County, I imagine perhaps Broward Sheriff's Office may be getting involved, as well as other jurisdictions from Broward County as well. That vehicle sort of straddling that yellow line there between the left lane and the median as the car continues northbound, speeding, passing or approaching Sterling Road right now. A few cars in that vehicle's way now, so he is speeding by, changing lanes, cutting across the entire highway from left to right to get around those vehicles that were in the driver's way. Continuing northbound on I-95 right now. We do want to remind you that we are on delay right now as police continue this pursuit that has spanned from southern Miami-Dade County to Broward County right now, passing I-95 northbound past Sterling Road, approaching Griffin right now into the Davie area. Griffin then comes 595. From there, Davie and Broward and Sunrise Boulevards, those are all on the way as well. Unclear if this vehicle will hop on 595 or just continue northbound on I-95. Looks like they're actually getting off the exit for Griffin Road right now. Into the grass there to get around those vehicles that were waiting at the exit. Once again, this is a chase that started in southwest Miami-Dade, now into Broward County. Made a left. Looks like the vehicle may have been in the wrong lanes, now looping back around to get back on I-95, this time in the southbound direction. Police say this is in reference to a stolen vehicle, stolen earlier this morning. We're continuing to gather some details on that situation. According to radio police scanners that we've been listening to throughout the duration of this chase, there's a teen driver behind the wheel of that white SUV. We're still waiting on police to confirm more details about the identity of the person driving that vehicle, as well as whether there are any other people in the vehicle at this time. We do know that this car crashed into two police cruisers. Unclear as to the injuries of those police officers, if the officers were in the vehicles at that time or if they were parked vehicles. We did see the car also sideswipe a vehicle when it was on the Palmetto Expressway as part of this chase. Now continuing on I-95 southbound. Coming up on Sheridan Street right now on I-95 southbound as this vehicle continues to evade police right now, speeding as it makes its way through Broward County. It went through all of Dade County, traveling in the northbound direction from far south Miami-Dade, now in Broward County, but traveling southbound perhaps all the way back to Dade County. Unclear at this point just how far this vehicle and the driver who is driving this vehicle plans to carry on at this point. Again, into the left lane to get around any traffic there. I-95 southbound approaching Hollywood Boulevard right now. We did take a bit of a wider shot there and unable to see any officers. Traffic is backing up quite a bit. There is a roadblock now, so this car is going to be unable to easily maneuver, but we'll see if he will try to weave his way in and out of the traffic that is being created as a result of this roadblock on I-95 southbound near Hollywood, north of Hollywood Boulevard. This is on I-95 southbound. The traffic has slowed down considerably. That car now weaving in and out of traffic. The cops are slowing down this traffic right now on I-95 southbound. I know my colleague Rick Fulbaum is also keeping an eye on this situation.
Lauren, watching this with you, and what stands out the most is how he was able to maneuver his way and weave through that congestion there, through that traffic, and past that roadblock that police had tried to set up, as he now is driving south on 95 towards Pembroke Road at a very high rate of speed. Impossible to know exactly how fast, but it looks to be in excess of 80, 85, 90 miles per hour. You can see he's got wide open road ahead of him now as he, after making that U-turn, he was going north on 95, Lauren, for so long, and then he got off and got back on. He just passed Pembroke Road, and it looks like he's got smooth sailing with not a lot of traffic ahead of him for at least a while. And so you can see he's got the open road to himself here as he continues to try to evade police. And impressive, Lauren, that this is a teen driver, at least according to the police radio that we've been able to listen to. So not a very experienced driver, but someone who's been able to maneuver through some traffic jams. It looks like he's now getting off on the right and exiting 95. Let's see exactly where he is planning to go. You can see him now getting off, and he does have to contend with some traffic on that off-ramp as he tries to get off of 95. Just to catch people up, if you're just joining us, this is a chase that began with a stolen vehicle down in Homestead. So South Miami-Dade, it then stretched. He went on this chase and went all the way up into Broward, and now he turned himself around and has gotten off of 95 now, and he is headed west now. He is headed west. So he has gotten off of 95 at Hallandale Beach Boulevard, and he is now heading west on Hallandale Beach. So he's still up in Broward County. Just a reminder, this is on delay in the event that something happens that would be not appropriate for younger viewers. We have this on a slight delay so that we can prevent pictures from being broadcast that would not be appropriate at this time. You can see there's a black vehicle behind him. Unsure if that is a member of law enforcement. Could be an unmarked car. Does not look like a police vehicle, but that car is traveling pretty quickly. So it might be an officer, law enforcement, who was a part of this effort to bring this chase now to a close. Again, this is up in Broward, Hallandale Beach Boulevard. The driver in the white vehicle is trying to evade police and has been very successful at that for the last 35, 40 minutes or so. And Lauren, as we watch this driver just doesn't seem to have any sense of needing to slow down or anything. He is going right through this pretty busy thoroughfare there, West Hallandale Beach Boulevard, heading westbound, and just really going very, very fast on this particular roadway.
A long time. Again, we've been following this since the chase, or since we picked up this chase on the Turnpike northbound down at 184th Street, but we do know that it started even before that on US 1 in far South Miami-Dade near the Homestead area, continued northbound on US 1, and then continued on the Turnpike northbound, the Don Shula Expressway, the Palmetto Expressway. Then that chase shifted from northbound to eastbound, cut across Miami-Dade County from west to east, and then into Broward County. So this vehicle has been going for quite some time now. As you mentioned, that driver trying to evade police and doing it successfully at this point. The car now making a U-turn as it continues to try to avoid police eastbound now on Hallandale Beach Boulevard. Rick?
And Chopper 4 sending us these pictures, and this particular driver, again, we've been told, listening to the police radio, Lauren, that this driver is teenager, so a young, inexperienced driver, and we apologize, obviously the chopper shot is going to go in and out occasionally, but there you can see it looks like the driver has turned again. It looks like he's going, yep, there he is. Okay, good, we've got him again. He has made another turn, and he's driving through, you know, he's off the major highways. He was on US 1, he was on 95, even Hallandale Beach Boulevard. Now he is on in more of a residential area, but continuing to drive at a very high rate of speed. Very, very dangerous, especially at the intersections. That is what law enforcement is most concerned about, is when he goes through these intersections. intersections, and there are unsuspecting drivers who have no idea. Looks like he might even be near a school at this point, approaching another intersection, making another turn. It looked like that. Sorry, I couldn't read whether that's at 215th Street, but again, he is driving through residential area now. You can see the homes on either sides of this street, and this driver is just going very, very quickly. Seems to be in a desperate type of situation. He has slowed down and doesn't really seem to have any kind of a game plan at this point. And really, how could he, Lauren? Because as you said, this is a chase, an attempted getaway that has stretched on through 2 different counties, and now he just seems to be driving around aimlessly in the Miami Gardens area in North Miami-Dade. So it went from down in Homestead and Miami-Dade up to Broward. Now he's back down in North Miami-Dade and looking for some place to go where he could potentially get away from police. But of course, as we know, as he tries to maneuver around a roundabout, there is no getting away from police. This will end, as all of these do, with the suspect in custody. However, you just hope that no one is hurt along the way. Just again to catch you up, this is a teen driver, according to police radio, as he has gone from Miami-Dade up to Broward. Now he's back in North Miami-Dade, driving through residential neighborhoods. This began with a report of a stolen car in Homestead, as we lost our picture momentarily. Now it's back. There are 2 police cars that have been hit during this chase. And you see the driver now driving through a residential neighborhood, and there are other vehicles that seemingly have no idea what they're approaching as this white car comes. He's going the wrong way around that roundabout, and that's what you really have to be concerned about. Thankfully, it's still school hours, so there won't be a lot of kids out on these streets. But he is driving around now. 2 police cars had been hit during the course of this chase. We do not know whether or not anybody was hurt, but that has taken place. There are a lot of different law enforcement agencies involved in this pursuit. You can see that black car, an unmarked vehicle, I'm guessing, as we go through another one of these intersections. There is an unmarked car that is a part of this pursuit. We don't see a lot of other police vehicles, though. He's going east on Ives Dairy Road, so he's still up in North Miami-Dade. And now, again, Lauren, picking up speeds as he gets onto these bigger highways with more lanes. He's able to drive a lot faster.
Yeah, Rick, and we really need to stress the fact that this is a very dangerous situation at this point. Now the vehicle is into more heavily populated areas, now driving on the wrong side of the road, but just a few minutes ago in those residential areas, school zones that we're dealing with. 142 right now. In just a little while, school will be let out. So very dangerous situation for the person in that car, for police officers, and for any other drivers on the road right now. And that is why we want to mention once again that we are on delay, because we don't want to be broadcasting anything that could be potentially inappropriate for some of our younger viewers or for any viewer at this point. So we do want to stress the fact that we are on delay because of the nature of this very dangerous situation, as police continue to try to stop the person in that white SUV that they've been following for more than 45 minutes at this point. Longer than that, probably closer to an hour. We've been following along for about 45 minutes or so from South Miami-Dade into Broward, now into North Dade area, as this vehicle makes a right, making it difficult even for us to follow along with where this car is. I believe on 188th Street right now in North Miami-Dade. The chase that started in far South Miami-Dade as a result of a stolen vehicle. Rick, police say that the radio frequency police scanners reporting that possibly a juvenile driver is behind the wheel of that white SUV that we've been watching for the past 45 minutes or so. Still waiting on word from police as to the identity of that driver, whether or not they know the exact identity of that driver at this point. We do know that that car did hit 2 police cruisers. Unclear on any possible injuries in those accidents from earlier on in this chase.
Just to correct something that I said a minute ago, Lauren, this was something that began the report of a stolen car in southwest Miami-Dade, not in Homestead, as I said a moment ago. But it began down south. It then headed up north. He went on to 95 and was driving up into Broward County for a long period of time before making a U-turn, heading back down and going in the opposite direction, the southbound lanes of 95, getting off on Hallandale Beach Boulevard. And he's now on westbound on Miami Gardens Drive, going very, very quickly. This is northwest Miami-Dade. As he continues to drive. Not a lot of traffic ahead of him. That is good. 183rd Street, that looked like to me, northwest 183rd Street. And this driver, a teenage driver, according to police scanners, going very, very quickly, about to try to make another turn. But it looks like, well, there he goes. He's going to have to go over the median. And at some point earlier, and there is a cruiser right there, he is spinning out. These tires now giving him a hard time, harder to control. It looks like there might be some rain on the highway. The police officers there are trying to get him to stop. After he spun out of control, he's lost that rear left tire, now completely gone. The back left tire is just completely gone. Take a look at that axle. And so this is going to make it. We've seen drivers go for a pretty good distance after having this happen, but obviously it's going to be much harder for this driver to maneuver this vehicle, to control it, having lost the rear left tire. So this is an opportunity for law enforcement, Lauren, to try to get in there, try to figure out where he might be trying to go next and try to stop this. He had one of his tires has blown out, but he is still able to drive the vehicle. And again, we are on delay, so we'll keep an eye on this and try to bring you images that are not inappropriate, but we want to let this play itself out and see exactly what happens with this. Again, this is a police chase that's been going on for over 45 minutes now. The driver continues to go through intersections. This is Miami Gardens Drive and 22nd Avenue, which is the intersection that he has just passed. The police cruiser coming up on his passenger side on the right, trying to maybe get in front of him and force him off to the side, force him to pull over, pull this vehicle over. This is what the officer is trying to do, and it's a very, very dangerous maneuver as the officer is trying, perhaps even trying to communicate with the driver to get him to stop. But this driver, whoever he is, has no intention of stopping, even though he has absolutely lost that rear left tire. That rear driver's side tire is completely gone. The rubber is off. He's driving on the rims right there. That is all that he's got on the back left side. And this is a very, very dangerous situation. This car, very hard to control under these types of circumstances. And again, as we get closer and closer to the 2 o'clock hour, parents going to be starting to go and pick up their kids. There's going to be a lot more traffic on these roads. He's now being pursued by multiple vehicles, both of them trying to get him to pull over to the side of the road, but that is not happening. He has no intention of stopping. This is someone who is very desperate, and that's when these situations get very, very dangerous, Lauren.
Yeah, Rick, and it appears from what I could tell that those are Miami Gardens police cruisers, an SUV, and a patrol car just behind that SUV as well. Miami-Dade has been part of this chase, as has Florida Highway Patrol at points. Right now, it's coming down to this Miami Gardens police cruiser and some unmarked vehicles in the area as well to try to stop this car right now. Again, as you mentioned, riding on rims, a very unsafe situation for that driver, for the officers around this car, as well as other drivers on the roadway. Right now, they are on 37th Avenue, and he appears to not be letting up right now. Crossing into the opposing lane of traffic, the wrong side of the road, over that median there. 37th Avenue again, as we mentioned. Now the car continuing in the wrong lanes. He's on the wrong side of the road. Those cars that are also on the wrong side of the road there, presumably unmarked police vehicles. That one car seems to maybe try to help out and stop this situation or just get out of the way as well. This has gone from a high-speed chase to a low-speed chase or pursuit as a result of the fact that the car's tires, at least one from what we can tell, is blown out. The driver's side rear tire completely on the rim there, no tire to speak of, but the car continues. The driver, we are hearing from police scanners, a juvenile, a teenager, but we do not have that confirmed from police just yet. We do want to remind our viewers, Rick, that we are on delay right now, especially as we get to this point in case anything inappropriate happens on air. We do want to warn our viewers that we are on a delay. It appears that vehicle has now come to a stop, Rick.
Yep, and look at the law enforcement now rushing the vehicle again, guns drawn, not taking any chances. You could see almost a dozen members of law enforcement from various agencies. The suspect is now out of the vehicle and face down on the street, 37th Avenue in Miami Gardens. Looks like there are other passengers in the vehicle, at least one, maybe more. You're going to have officers there searching the vehicle for other people that may be inside, while the other officers and deputies attend to the driver of that vehicle, who is now down, face down on the ground. We've been told he's a teen. He looks like a young black male, shirtless, being taken into custody after leading police on a multi-county pursuit that began in southwest Miami-Dade, went all the way up into Broward County, and then back down into Miami Gardens, 37th Avenue, where this is finally coming to an end. The suspect in custody after reports of a stolen vehicle in southwest Miami-Dade. This young man there putting so many lives at risk. Officers, law enforcement, civilians on the road driving the wrong way on major highways. Look at that scene, the number of vehicles there in the area at 183rd Street and 39th Court. This is in Miami Gardens, and finally, Lauren, this chase has come to a close. (183rd Street and 39th Court in Miami Gardens. Job well done. We do not have any reports of any injuries, thankfully. But this was someone, this young driver, who put many people at risk. And so he will now be brought down and charged for his crimes. But take a look at the police presence there in Miami Gardens. All of those vehicles, all of those members of the law enforcement community coming together to bring this to a close. And you can see one of the officers there probably just marveling at the fact that he was able to drive as long as he was without a tire, that rear left tire just completely gone. That white vehicle, apparently a stolen vehicle, and that's how this began down in southwest Miami-Dade earlier today, as a driver sent police and took police on a chase through 2 different counties and then back to Miami-Dade, as we continue to watch this story now that's been unfolding here in South Florida for the better part of the last 50 minutes or so. And we've had live coverage here on CBS 4. Again, the suspect is in custody. It appeared that he had a passenger in that vehicle. We can only assume at this point that that passenger is also in custody. We will continue to follow this story and get you all the information to let you know exactly what happened and how this happened and where this started. You can see the damage there to the front bumper of this Chevy minivan that was involved in this chase. This is a minivan that's now driven the better part of the last 45 minutes, probably about 60, 70 miles when all is said and done, as he wove his way through various residential neighborhoods trying to figure out a way. This is where we picked it up on the right-hand side of the screen, and you can see driving, crossing over medians, driving into oncoming traffic. This was a very, very dangerous situation that stretched again from Miami-Dade up to Broward, back down to Miami-Dade, finally coming to a close in Miami Gardens. Driving in the shoulders, driving, making very, very dangerous maneuvers, trying to evade police. But you can see this is when it was still down in Miami-Dade, and he was driving north on 95. Then the driver deciding to try to make a run for it by doing a U-turn, getting off and driving in the southbound lanes of 95 for some period of time, driving by schools, driving through residential neighborhoods, and eventually making his way into Miami Gardens. And that is where this came to an end. And the driver is now in custody. We had heard on the police scanners that this was a teenage driver. Impossible to know exactly how old, but it did look from our Chopper 4 shot that he looked like he was a young man. And he was able to evade police, Lauren, for an awfully long time before this finally came to a conclusion.
Yeah, Rick, in that video we were just looking at there was a portion of that chase when they were on the Palmetto Expressway traveling eastbound. He at one point got off the expressway, made a little loop there, and got right back on, continuing eastbound on the Palmetto Expressway, sideswiped the median, seemed to have sideswiped one of the vehicles there in that pursuit on the Palmetto Expressway. Police say that the vehicle also also did crash into 2 police cruisers before we picked up the chase around the Turnpike and 184th Street almost an hour ago at this point, Rick. That's how long we've been following this, from South Dade up to Broward County and then back into North Miami-Dade County. The vehicle taking multiple opportunities to drive in the wrong side of the road, to cross over medians, really putting himself, the driver, police officers, and other drivers and the public in danger in this situation. As the vehicle, as you can see there, this is some playback from earlier in the chase, but at the end it was very slow because the tire on that white SUV had been blown out, but at points very high speed as this vehicle traveled along expressways throughout Miami-Dade and Broward counties. Rick?
Wow. It really is unbelievable to see what this guy was able to do and how long he was able to evade the police, and so many near misses where this driver came so close to other vehicles. Again, these are unsuspecting motorists who are just going about their business driving. They have no idea, most likely, what's going on. They're not watching a television set. They're just in their cars, and all of a sudden comes this white SUV driving very erratically, and in some cases, as we saw, driving in the wrong direction, driving directly into oncoming traffic. You can see driving also near schools, driving near in residential neighborhoods. But I really think that law enforcement is to be commended for the way that they went about this. You saw the way that they were able to surround his vehicle, both unmarked cars and also police cruisers coming up all over. Here is the takedown. You could see finally the car coming to a stop, and look at the number of law enforcement there from multiple agencies getting the suspect out of the vehicle, searching for more people. It does look like they pulled somebody else out of that vehicle. We're not 100% sure about that, but taking that suspect down and taking him into custody, and really sort of bringing this again to as good a conclusion. It ended as well as could be expected. As that suspect, there he is, a young man who very led police on a very dangerous chase for a long time in South Florida. We take a look. It looks like perhaps those are the suspect's red shoes over to the side there of that vehicle, just lying there next to the vehicle. Again, look at the scene. Law enforcement there in Miami Gardens. So many vehicles coming together to help bring this to a peaceful and safe conclusion. And I understand, Lauren, you have some new information?
Yeah, Rick, we're getting some new details right now from Miami-Dade police. They're telling us this started in the Cutler Ridge area near the Turnpike and 200th Street. Again, that this vehicle, that white SUV that we've been following for the last hour or so, crashed into several police cars. No injuries reported in those situations, thankfully, and it appears in the takedown no one was injured there as well. And that ended at 183rd Street and 39th Court in the Miami Gardens, North Miami-Dade area. Several officers from Miami Gardens. We saw Miami Gardens cruisers there, as well as Miami-Dade PD. At one point, I know during the pursuit, we did see an FHP trooper as well. Police officers from multiple agencies, part of this effort to bring this chase to a safe conclusion at 183rd Street and 39th Court. Again, we do know that this all started as a result of a stolen vehicle. Police tell us in the Cutler Ridge area at the Turnpike and 200th Street. We've been following this for the last hour. We, of course, will continue to follow this very breaking and developing situation to learn more about the person who was behind the wheel and what all started this. We will have more details on CBSMiami.com and more on CBS 4 News at 5 and 6 o'clock.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. And again, the chase is over. The suspect is in custody. Again, as Lauren said, complete coverage on our website, CBSMiami.com. And we've got a team of reporters putting together stories so we can cover this for you for the CBS 4 News tonight at 5 and 6. I'm Rick Fulbaum in the newsroom for Lauren Pastrana and everyone at CBS 4 News team. Thanks for watching. Now back to regular programming.